Okay, remember when we told you to store the major template in a safe place? Well, now is the time to retrieve it because we are going to take a deeper look at your mechanical engineering template to determine what classes you should take this fall. Let's start by jumping right into the first semester. So here we are. Within the first fall semester on the template, you will find a science class, a math class, an engineering class, a 1-credit course, and a Haas class. This arrangement of courses is the typical format for most engineering majors in their first semester. I want to take a look at these classes in a little bit more detail. First is Chemistry 1. This course acts as a prerequisite for materials science for engineers, so I think it would be a good idea to complete this course in the first semester. Second is Intro to Engineering Analysis, or IEA as it's referred to on campus. This is the first engineering-specific course you're going to take at RPI. One thing to note about IEA, even though it's placed in the first semester, it is acceptable to postpone this course until the spring. In fact, there is one specific situation where it would be preferred that you would wait to take IEA. Student feedback surveys indicate that some prior knowledge of Physics 1 is helpful when navigating IEA. So if you did well in physics in high school, took AP or IB physics, then I absolutely recommend you enroll in IEA in the fall. But if you feel less than confident in your physics capabilities, it would be perfectly acceptable to substitute Physics 1 in place of IEA within that first semester. Next is Engineering Graphics and Cad. This is a 1-credit course students typically complete within their first year. In the event that this course does not work with your schedule, or if the course is full, it is acceptable to enroll in Engineering 1400, Engineering Communications, as a substitute, and it is referenced in the footnotes on the lower half of the template. However, the department does prefer Engineering 1200 in place of Engineering 1400. Alternatively, you can also swap Engineering 1300, Engineering Processes, which is placed in the spring semester on your template, with CAD or Communications. Any sequence of these courses within the first year is perfectly fine. Lastly, it is recommended that you take a Haas class in your first semester. In this guide, there is a segment that discusses the Haas requirements in great detail, so be sure to check that out. I also recommend that you check out the IHSS prefixed course options in Haas. It is required that you take one of those courses by the end of your first year, so if you complete it within the first semester, it will offer more flexibility later on. Now let's talk about what you should do if you come to RPI with AP or IB or transfer credits. If you anticipate bringing any of these credits to RPI, you will find yourself moving through the curriculum a little quicker. I'm going to discuss a couple of scenarios and offer suggestions on what to register for if you have credit for the courses listed on your template. In the Hub, I generally print out this template and cross off completed courses. You could do the same or use your computer editing software to highlight completed courses. So, for example, if you have credit for Calculus 1, I would still suggest enrolling in a math class for that first semester. So Calculus 2 would be the logical choice for the next class. If you've already completed Calculus 2 as well, then Differential Equations or Math 2400 would be the next recommended course within that sequence. Also, as I mentioned before, as far as physics is concerned, if you have credit, definitely enroll in IEA for the fall semester. And as far as chemistry is concerned, if you have chemistry, you can cross it off your template. This would give you the choice to move a course from the spring semester over to take its place. I always recommend enrolling in 16 or 17 credits in your first semester to prevent you from falling behind. So looking at spring, Materials Science for Engineers or Physics 1 would both be acceptable courses to enroll in the fall if you don't have credit for those courses. If you have AP credit in any Haas courses, I still recommend that you enroll in a Haas class, but try to seek out an IHSS prefixed course specifically. You can find more details about this in the Haas section, as I've mentioned before. Okay, well, I think that's it for now, but if you have any questions that go beyond the overview, don't hesitate to contact me. And remember, we can always make adjustments to your schedule once you arrive on campus for student orientation.